Welcome to the Great Wall of China, one of the 7 wonders of the world. Second time coming here, came back in 2009. It's even more breathtaking the second time. Insane views behind me. Me and Em are going to be taking you through how to get here, the cost, the transport, how long you spend it, and of course the best place for a few of the old JPEGs. If you find it useful, hit the subscribe button down below. Everything's timestamped as usual. Let's get cooking, baby.
So a little bit of history to kick things off. 220 BC was the year all the sections were finally joined together by Qin Shi Huang to protect against the Mongolians who were attacking in the north. It runs from the Yellow Sea in the east all the way to the snowy mountains at the west. And when you speak to a lot of people, specifically in China, they say 10,000 kilometers is the length of the wall. However, it's recently been proven that all the sections individually are 21,000 kilometers in length, enough to go around the US 4.5 times. So it's absolutely massive. And one cool little defense system that our guide was talking about is saying when they were getting attacked, 100 enemies meant 1 smoke, 500 enemies meant 2 smokes, and 3 smokes meant 1,000 enemies. However, if there were 4 smokes, that meant you were about to get absolutely battered into next week. So yeah, a little bit of history, and then you're probably thinking, Gaz, which one should I go to? Which section of the wall? So the Mutianyu or the Battling are the main two, the ones that have been restored the most. So where it's going to be most picturesque and obviously where the majority of people go, the best JPEGs are. I've been to the Mutianyu one twice. It's the longest section that is fully restored. The Battling one, as I mentioned, is also fully restored as well, but it's unbelievably busy. A couple of our guides, 2 on the day we've been recently, said you can barely see the wall in certain sections. So based on that, I would definitely go to the Mutianyu. Some of the videos you're going to see, we pretty much have the whole wall to ourselves at different parts. In terms of our specific tour, it was £18 per person. That includes your entrance fees to the wall, your drive from Beijing, obviously, to the wall itself, and then there's a little shuttle bus that drops you from the car park to the main gates where you go in. You can either start at 8 AM or 10 AM. Definitely go for the 10 AM. I'm going to discuss a little bit more as we kind of go through about what the best time of day to be there is, but later is usually better here because everyone goes super early in the morning, so it's a lot busier and you miss obviously the morning traffic, and you can recover a little bit from the old beer worries from the day before. And most trips you're probably looking at 5 to 6 hours you get of your own free time to explore the wall, and yeah, you can do with that as you will. All the tickets are electronic and they're all linked to your passport, so make sure you take your passport with you. The only paper ticket is if you go via the eastern route, which I discussed in that section very, very shortly. Into a bit of the old transport. So as I mentioned, you start at 10 AM. It says to get there minimum 10 minutes early. Me and the King, punctual as ever. We got there about 20 minutes early, and the first 60 people are there. Bang, you're on the coach, and the coach is gone. So we actually left about 10-15 minutes early, which is just the things you absolutely love to see. It took us 1 hour and 15 minutes to get there in the morning, so super, super quick. And even in the evening traffic on the way back, you're only looking at about 1.5 hours. So not horrendous in terms of travel, especially some of the journeys that you do across Asia, Southeast Asia in particular. This was a relatively short one. If you are going to book a trip and you want an English speaking trip, make sure you book at least 24 hours in advance. When I went in 2019, me and Crab, we booked it on like 12 hours notice, something stupid like that. So we were on a Chinese speaking tour, and yeah, I can say my Mandarin is not very good to say the least. And the history, the knowledge that you get about why the wall was built, just Chinese tradition, the army, the defense mechanisms is absolutely unbelievable. So insightful. So I would 100% recommend doing that. There's loads of different food options when you get there. Obviously you can take your own food if you want. With our tour, you got to pay £6 per person, and they had an insane buffet. Like I think there's like 25 different dishes in there to get stocked up before you go and take on the wall itself. Obviously G-dubs, the severe peanut allergy, I can't be risking any stuff like that, so I did go for a Subway, which was £6.50, and it was also banging. Water, you were looking at about £1 and about £2 to £4 for beers. I would definitely buy things as part of the tour. As our tour guide kind of said, all the stuff they do is really, really discounted. If you go out and then people are just giving you like crazy prices for things, you can haggle and barter, but it's just ag that you don't need when you're taking on the wall itself. But let's get into the Mutianyu section of the wall. So obviously directly north of Beijing, and it's pretty cool for a magnitude of reasons. It has a rare triangular formation, which is basically when three different sections of the wall all meet in one watchtower. It's located at 1,000 meters above sea level, and the section itself that you kind of walk across or explore is 2.5 kilometers, some flat, some severely uphill, and some downhill as well. So there's 23 watchtowers, roughly at about every 100 meters. There's a couple of different films, which is quite cool, that were filmed here. You've got Transformers 4, which was at Tower 14, and the mighty Kung Fu Panda, what a bit of kit that is, at Tower 18. And one thing to note, this is a question you see across all tourist boards and online, are there toilets? There's loads of toilets as you get off the coaches, just before you go up to the wall. However, on the wall itself, up at the top, there is only one toilet, and that is at Tower 14. So bear that in mind with the amount of water you're drinking, and if you always need to nip to the bathroom, like myself, only at Tower 14. So you've got to the wall, you know the section you're going to do, and then you have a few different options. There's the east route and the west route. So we'll kick things off with the west route to start with. I can get my words out, but you're going from Tower 14 to Tower 20, which is the highest point on the wall. Panoramic views over, do you know what I mean, all the greenery and the mountains on one side, and then you can just look directly down the wall all the way into the distance as far as you can see on the other side. Bear in mind that this comes at a price. The best viewpoint always comes at the price of unbelievably steep stairs from watchtower 19 to 20. This is often described as where all Chinese people need to conquer this once in their life to become, it says become a man, but we're just going to call it become a legend. But yeah, it is very, very steep, bear that in mind. And you also have to climb up a ladder, which is super easy. It takes like 3 seconds to get up there. But again, if you're a little bit worried about heights like Shady, again, this is something to just be wary of. But yeah, beautiful walk here from 14 to 20 itself. You can either walk up, which again I'll discuss in a second, or you can get the chairlift. So the chairlift takes you from the car park to Tower 14, and obviously from Tower 14 you walk to 20 and back, and then back down, or you can walk it. If you do get any of the chairlifts on the east or west route, it's 140, which is about £15 per person for each route. So you get up and down included in your price, but it is for each route. So you can't go up one side and down the other. And they're very, very smart on that. The Chinese tour companies, you have to buy a ticket for both routes, or obviously walk up, depending on what you want to do. In terms of in between 6 and 14, it was described as nothing noticeable to see, not as good for photos. And I think often with that, people are obviously put off. But we walked from all the way up, and then from 20 all the way down to number 4. What do people do? They get the chairlift up and down, and they get it up and down the other side. So what does it mean in the middle? There are very, very limited people on those sections. It's a lot flatter on those sections as well, so you can walk between them pretty quickly, but you're getting amazing photos. No one, or not no one, well, we got a few pictures of no one in the background, but as a general rule, very, very few people in the back of the old photos, which is what we love to see on the old Instagram. If you're not following me on there, check it out, link below, because we've got some flare JPEGs on the wall, no one in the background, and like I say, they're going to be the best spots in between 6 and 14. We walked up from the car park itself, so it was about an hour queue to wait for the cable car, or if you walk up, it's about 800 steps. It is extremely steep, and you either come out at watchtower 8 or 10, depending on which route you go up. You do need semi-decent fitness, I'll be 100% honest with you. It is, I'd say it's about a 20-minute walk up, but is very, very steep. Definitely wear, do you know what I mean, gym trainers, definitely wear gym kit if you're going to do this. 1, you're going to be absolutely boiling, and 2, do you know what I mean, it is a tough walk, but you bypass all the queues, you get that section of the wall to yourself, flare little spots for photos. I also thought between 11 and 12 was a great spot, because limited people away from the cable cars, but it was also pretty steep at that point, so you get like the kind of the whole view of the valley and all the steps going down behind you, rather than that kind of flat on view if you're just on the wall itself. The other route you can do, the east route. So if you're only going to do up one side, down the other, definitely come down the east route. So that basically the chairlift takes you from the car park to Tower 6, and you can walk to 1 and back. We obviously walked up one route, we got to 10, we walked all the way to 20, then all the way to the east route. This is the shorter side. It's probably said about an hour and a quarter to walk from 6 to 1, but the best part, there's 2 good parts actually. So on the east route, it has all the sections of the wall, all the towers usually have between 3 and 5 soldiers living there. There's a watchtower 4 which has 200 there, so it's absolutely massive. So again, something different to add to the wall. Obviously the 3 joining sections as well. This is why this is such a good section of the wall to visit across the whole of China. But to get down the wall, take the east route toboggan. Unbelievable fun. If you just want to just come down this route, it's 100, or if you pay 140 to chairlift up and come down this as well. So fun. When they say go, give about a minute, or not a minute, that's going to be too long. You're having to go, you're 30 seconds to the person in front of you to go, and then you can just can it all the way down and absolutely fly at the person in front of you, like I was doing to the extra weight was helping me catch her up. But again, the east route, flare views, super steep sections. You get the wall like cutting across the hillside from left to right, and it's super steep as well. That's where I think the best photos are. 1 where it's quiet, and 2 where it's steep. So I would say as a general rule, the east side is quieter than the west, because obviously people want to do the have the achievement of walking up the west side, and yeah, getting that ticked off their bucket list. But 5 to 6 hours is absolute plenty of time. My personal advice would be to walk it and get the toboggan down. You have so much time, 6 hours at the wall. You can, if you're going to get the chairlift up, you have got so much time to explore on the wall. Do you know what I mean? We went for lunch first and then walked up and just got the toboggan down, and we still got down with about 45 minutes to spare, and we were taking an insane amount of JPEGs and videos, as you can kind of see from this vlog and the other ones on the channel. Walking between the sections where the cable cars are, you're going to get less people on the wall, less people for photos, and it's just a really calming environment. The busiest section is, of course, the west bit, but that is the bit where it's highest and you get the best views. And the key tip, so if you stayed around this long, this is a little key tip for you. Some locals told us this a few days before in Beijing, and it came true when we were on the wall. Everyone goes early morning for these sort of activities, and usually that is the thing to do. But at the Great Wall, the best time is about 3 p.m. The sun is set, well, slightly coming down. It's super warming, lovely. Do you know what I mean? Warmness on your photos, but everyone's gone home already. If they're on the 8 a.m. tours, they've already gone home. People are worried about getting down for the 5 p.m. ones. So if you are going to get the cable car, I'd go super late. I'd get there for like 1 p.m, 2 p.m. and go up, and you'll have pretty much the whole wall to yourself. And if you are going to walk, plenty of time to get up there, walk across. And yeah, being around there 3 p.m, beautiful views into the valley, sun just slowly setting into the distance. And it's just absolutely ruthless JPEGs left, right and center. So hopefully, do you know what I mean? You've got some use out of that, and hopefully that's give you some insight of where to go. If you do have any questions on things I've said or maybe that I've not covered, bang them in the comments down below. I'll respond to every single message down there. I've got a video on Beijing on the channel now, so 40 things to do, to see, to explore, and a few key tips for Beijing. So if you are heading to China, check that out on the channel down below. Let me know what you think. Always trying to improve as we go through these videos. Currently in Mongolia, so there's lots more content coming on the channel this year, lots of exploring in many countries to get through. So I'd love to take you on that journey with us en route to 2K subscribers. So hit the button down below, and remember, baby, the chef is always cooking. Let's get it.